Hi, I am here in the lovely Cuffley Woods in Hertfordshire, and I am here to run through some of the quickfire questions that I have been asked about for my new single Hallelujah. So here we go. How would you describe Hallelujah to someone that's never heard of you or the original song before? Well, my cover of Hallelujah is in a classical crossover style with my ethereal, haunting vocals and the beautiful piano and violin with ambient and cinematic elements, which is what I really like to encompass in all of the music that I write and perform. The themes of Hallelujah include hope, of spirituality and of connection, and I think that they are also the themes that I usually write in. What was your inspiration behind deciding to record a cover of Hallelujah, and can you give us a little bit of background about the song? I wanted to cover Hallelujah because it's probably one of the most covered songs of all time, and I wanted to create my own version. I feel like it's a really important song for me because it brings in so many themes of humanity, and I feel like some of the themes really resonate with me, and I wanted to put my own twist. And I feel like it's a really important song because it covers so many things which really resonate with me. Love, the complexity of our spirit as humans. It takes on spiritual meanings, it takes on religious meanings, it takes on the themes of redemption and hope. And at the time I really wanted to be able to create a version where I felt like I could bring all of those emotions and complexities within me to the song. Leonard Cohen, I think, wrote around 80 or so versions of the song, and apparently he used to perform lots of different versions live. And I feel like the version that I have created covers the main themes that are really important to me. What is the significance of Hallelujah to you? I think Hallelujah is a song of beauty. I think it's a very complex song. I think it encapsulates lots of different themes that resonate with us as humans. And I think, especially for me, the themes of love, hope, and spirituality are the main things that I generally write about, and so I felt that it fitted in really well with my original music. With the many versions of Hallelujah, what made you decide to create your own? I think it was because when I was looking for songs to cover, this was one of the songs that came up time and time again because it's so popular. And I felt like it would be really nice if I could bring my own energy, my own version, my own emotion and my own style to this song. I wanted it to be just as complex but simple. I wanted it to be full of emotion and that push and pull of the heartache, heartbreak, intensity. And I felt like at the time when I recorded it, I really needed to be able to sing a song which had themes of spirituality, of hope, of love, and of the sheer power of the calling out when you say hallelujah, because that can be from so many things. From, saying hallelujah because we're so lucky to be alive on this planet at this time, saying hallelujah because of the human connections that we can have with others, singing hallelujah because even in your darkest times we yearn for that moment where we hope and pray that there is someone listening to our heart. Why did you choose to cover the verses which cover the themes of religion and love? Well, I feel like these are the themes that are really prevalent in my life. I was brought up in a very spiritual household and a very loving household, and I really believe in love. I believe in the power of love, and I believe in the power of connection and humanity, and how we are always really wanting to become the best version of ourselves, and we can't do that alone. We need help, and we need something that is bigger than us but also inside of us, and I feel like Hallelujah encompasses that. When did you first hear Hallelujah, and did this have an impact on why you decided to create a cover of it? So I think the first time I ever heard Hallelujah was when I was a child. My dad actually had a really eclectic taste in music, and I was introduced to all sorts of music when I was a child, like Harry Belafonte, and my mum loved musicals, so I was kind of brought up listening to Doris Day and Frank Sinatra and Shirley Bassey. He loved the Shadows. Anyway, the list is endless. I could do a whole interview about that. So I think I heard Hallelujah, and it was part of my childhood, and I didn't really pay much attention to it, to be honest with you, until I heard Alexander Burke sing it on the X Factor. And I think her performance of the song really took root in my soul. It was so beautiful. Her rendition was amazing. I loved the tone, I loved her phrasing, I loved the way she performed it. It really became a really special song for me, and it took on a whole new meaning. And so because of that, I think it really became part of me, and I thought, oh well, one day if I ever do a cover of a song, I would probably do that. But it became more meaningful after I lost my dad to prostate cancer in 2019, and I was not in any frame of mind or any fit state to be able to write any original music, but I still needed to sing as a form of expression because that's just who I am. And so I think it was in January of the following year, I started pursuing recording a cover version of Hallelujah. And I think when I decided to create that cover version, I always knew that I wanted it to be not just a homage to my dad and my childhood and kind of one of the songs that I remembered growing up, but also because it was a song that really impacted me because I come from a very spiritual background, and Hallelujah is a word that I feel is a very graceful word. It's a prayer all on its own. Well, I felt like when I lost my dad, it was one of the cries that I kind of felt inside, you know, why did this happen? But also, you know, the blessings that came along with being able to spend so much time with him even after he was diagnosed. I mean, he had prostate cancer for 13 years, so I mean, it was amazing that he managed to survive as long as he did, especially when he was diagnosed. He was already stage 4, so he probably had it a long time before that. So I think there are many reasons why I chose Hallelujah as a cover song, and I felt like it was an appropriate song because of the meanings inside the song, and I felt like I would be able to bring my tones and my twists and my take on the song and what it means to me. And hopefully if someone hears my rendition and my performance, then maybe one day they would be just as touched as I was when I felt like it had touched my soul too. So next question. Tell us a little bit about the creative process behind the music video for Hallelujah. Yes, so I wanted to be able to create a beautiful music video that kind of works with all of the other music videos that I have created previously. And so I wanted to be in the forest because obviously, you know, Queen of the Forest. And I also wanted to be wearing red. I don't know why, but Hallelujah always felt like it was going to be a winter song, and I felt like red is the colour of love and passion and, you know, sensuality and even spiritualness. And I just felt like to be in the words in Mother Nature, wearing a red dress, I felt like those two things combining together felt really, really appropriate. I felt like the video was very ethereal again, reminded me of In Too Deep and Miratiro, which are two of my favourite videos, and I felt like Lee really was able to bring that ethereal quality to life, but also with a little bit of a more contemporary edge. You know, I have more attitude, I feel, in this video than any of my other videos. I feel like it's more contemporary, as in, you know, you see kind of like the boots I'm wearing, and you can see that she's a woman, you know, she's a woman that's in that video. She's gone through a lot to be able to sing that song. And Lee managed to film a really, really amazing performance, especially towards the end when the sun was coming through the trees and behind us in going into the evening, and I just felt like it was really, really serendipitous that happened. Singing Hallelujah and the light, you know, coming and hitting the camera and filling the space with light. And I feel like the creative process was something which was very, very organic. I was with my team at the time, Charlotte and Emily, and I had Rico on set with me as well, and really helping Lee set up everything and carrying equipment. And I was able then to be able to direct and easily, you know, make very quick decisions while we were on set. And I feel like it all came together very naturally. I had a kind of a loose script in my head before we started filming, and you know, with locations there's always the problem with weather, especially when you're outdoors, but that day seemed to be very, very, you know, clement, and the weather just seemed to be on our side. And I feel like I really was able to sink into the character. You know, there's some real depth in there. If you actually watch the video, you will see that there is one part where I'm actually on a tree, and the tree was actually had like a 50-foot drop below it, going down a hill, and so it was a little bit scary being able to film there. But I felt like it was really, really important, because while I'm singing, you know, the depth of the feeling of the song felt like it was reflected in the depth of how the earth was being curved. And I felt like the light of the sun hitting, you know, the camera and the angle, and I felt like that was very you know, telling. And then in the beginning where she is walking, there's the times where she's walking and wondering, and there's the feeling of hopefulness and connection. And I feel like the music video really brings together all of the lyrics and the deeper meanings of the song, of being in one with nature and light, love, connection and hope. And sometimes that's, you know, that final cry of hallelujah, of that desperation, of that need, that desire, that want to be able to connect with something more than us. I feel like we were able to catch a really good performance, and hopefully you will like it too. So yeah, go and watch the music video when you can. Okay, so next question. Okay, what are you most proud of regarding the creation of Hallelujah? To be honest with you, the creation of Hallelujah was so meaningful to me to be able to move on in my life mentally and emotionally and sometimes physically, because when you lose someone so very, very special to you and you grieve over them, then words cannot describe it. And I feel like at the final Hallelujah in the song, it really is a culmination of the grief but the relief at the same time of being able to have someone so dear to you be released from their pain. And it's a very, very bittersweet feeling, because you can never ever imagine the devastation that you're going to feel. But as time moves on, you realize that time is the greatest healer, and God-given time is the thing that allows us to remember and to relive and be in those special moments in our minds and in our hearts all over again. And hallelujah to that, because that is the most amazing thing about us being humans, is that even when someone physically has gone, we can still feel them and feel their presence here in our heart and in our soul. So I think, to sum it up, the most proud thing about Hallelujah is how much music really means to me. I think learning about how much music really means to me, and how much music still to this very day still teaches me so much about myself, about life, about connection, about love, about death, about God. I just think yes, music, it taught me to really love music again and to love my voice, because when I sang that song I was grieving, even though I don't personally feel like it's the best singing that I've ever done in my life. No, I don't. But I do feel like it's the most rawest and the most pure voice that I have ever recorded. I thank Ren for that, and I thank myself for being able to be brave enough, go there, and Ren for being able to capture it in a track that means so much to me, and hopefully it will touch as many lives and as many people as possible that need that hope and need that light in their life too. Next question is, can you tell us about the creative team and process that were involved in the creation of Hallelujah? Yes, I can, and I'm so happy to be able to do so. So the team consisted of my wonderful producer, Peter Renfrey, who is based over in Nashville, USA, and he helped arrange all of the track and the musicians that played on it. And he managed to do all of this, which was so amazing, during the lockdown. And he was just so wonderful to work with. He really understood what I wanted. He really understood where I was mentally and emotionally at the time. He knew what he needed to bring to the table, so to speak. And I had told him that I wanted a classical crossover feel to the song, and it to feel simple, but with also some of the kind of lost in love themes weaved throughout the story of the song. So he introduced me to a wonderful violinist called Michel Gazish, and he was in Italy at the time. He is a folk violinist, absolutely amazing musician, and he managed to record the violin part for the song with his own arrangement on top. So it just was really, really beautiful when we got that in the bag and I heard it back. Then we also had the wonderful Karen Ballew, who was based over in Nashville at the time. Ren was able to invite her over to his studio because he had a big studio and they were separated, and all of the malarkey that came along with the lockdown at the time. So what the wonderful thing about being able to record harp was her being able to actually be in the studio with Ren, and she played some amazing harp on the track. Then we also have Stefano Marzani, who actually plays on my debut album Lost in Love, who's a very, very dear friend, an amazing arranger and pianist and accompanist and just all around amazing person. And so he plays on the track too. And then I also have later on during the process, after we had finished the track and lockdown was over and I had a little while before releasing the track, I actually asked Tom E. Morrison, the producer of Lost in Love, to be able to weave some of the Lost in Love ambient kind of themes in there on top, because I just felt like I wanted him to be included on this track that meant so much to me. And so he also asked Emma Eritza, who is a wonderful violinist, a friend of mine, to play a little extra violin part over the kind of mid-late section and just tailing into the last chorus. And I felt like finally, when I had everything all together, it was just perfect, and I heard it, and just with all the little tweaks and the mixing and the mastering, who was done by the wonderful Martin Pfeiffer over in Germany. And luckily Tom is here in England, but he's not here in London anymore, he's up in York. But it was just, so it was a collaboration effort between a wonderful team of musicians, and having Ren produce the song for me and having Tom just do the last tweaks of production on the song meant so much to me, brought it all together. It feels like I've really come full circle after losing my father, and I'm ready now to release this wonderful, beautiful song to the world, and I hope you like it.